What up guys, theshadowlord here, and today we're going to be covering some of the stuff you should be aware of before going into Quarter Stars Mythic. Now before we start into this dungeon itself, to do Quarter Stars Mythic you're going to have to be 8,000 reputation into Honoured with the Night Fallen, and have done the small little quest chain that you get when you get to 8,000 rep. Also, if you are interested in the Archway guide, I have also done one of those as well, so I will leave the link in the description down below and also on the end cards at the end of the video. Starting off with the first trash pack. In Quarter Stars there's going to be some Dark Watch sentries. He's going to need to be killed or CC'd before he's able to reach the beacon to sound the alarm of your approach, because the whole point of this dungeon is to stay stealthy. After killing or CCing the sentry, you're then going to want to click on the beacon so you can deactivate it. Some of the other things you're going to need to look out for in this first trash pack is the Dark Watch guards. They're going to cast an AoE on the ground that's similar to the Nether Link in Archway. If you stand in this, you'll take damage and also you'll be stunned. The only other thing you really want to worry about this first trash pack is the Mana Sabers are going to do an AoE swipe that's going to leave a dot on all targets hit by it. So try and spread out as a group. After you have killed the first trash pack, you're then going to want to head over the bridge where you're going to meet the Guardian Construct. You should pull this mob on its own because it's slightly challenging to deal with. There's mainly two things you want to worry about. The first one being suppress. You should try and kick this whenever possible, because if you don't, then the target that the mob has will be unable to cast or do damage for 6 seconds. The mob is also going to cast an AoE on the ground. Do your best to avoid standing in this. After dealing with the sentry, you're going to have to watch out for a buff that's going to be cast called Seal Magic. This is cast from the Dark Watcher Arcanist. Players should kick or run away from this. However, if the debuff does happen to go on the group, the healer can dispel this. He's also going to cast Night Fallen Orb. This is going to be needed to be kick, or up to 3 players in your group are going to take a large amount of damage. If you have any kicks left over, try to kick the Arcane Manifestation on Drain Magic, as each time it casts it stacks a buff that increases the damage of the next cast. Be careful where your tank and melee are standing when the mana wraiths are going to die, because when they die they explode, dealing a large amount of damage to everyone within 5 yards of them. When entering the first boss's garden, be careful not to pull him until you've cleared enough of the room as your group feels comfortable. You're going to see 3 beacons around the room, 2 on the left side and 1 on the right. If you are going for the achievement needed for Glory of the Legion Hero, then make sure not to deactivate these beacons. However, if you would like just to clear the boss, then deactivate the beacons so he doesn't have any way to spawn in his ads. When starting on the boss is going to give everyone in the group a debuff called Arcane Lockdown. You can remove this by jumping 3 times. With each jump you remove 1 stack. If you have a rogue or an alchemist in your group, get them to poison the flask on the table by the boss. If you do not, then be careful when the boss is going to drink the flask, because it will increase his haste by 30% and his damage done until the boss dies by 30%. However, if you have a rogue or an alchemist in your group, then the boss will instantly die upon drinking the flask, as they are able to poison the flask. If you have big cooldowns such as Bloodlust or Burst or Time Warp, try and save it for when he's going to drink the flask, as you want to be in this part of the fight the least amount of time. There's 2 other abilities that you need to watch out for on this boss. Street Sweeper is a powerful arcane blast that's in a line after 3 seconds, dealing 600k damage. Do your best not to get hit by this, it will make your healer's job a lot easier. The other thing you would like to watch out for is Recede Slash. This is going to be an AoE on 2 sides of the boss. It's marked on the floor by some silver dust. Try not standing inside the silver dust after 3 seconds of the boss starting it, or you will take 1.2 million damage and be stunned for 4 seconds. After killing the first boss, go up the stairs, follow the children and mothers as they run down into the courtyard where the next boss is. However, do not go straight on to the second boss, because you will be one hit, as the second boss still has her bodyguards with her. You need to draw the bodyguards away separately. You can do this by finding fell-bound enforcers and killing them. After each kill, the boss will send one of the bodyguards to go and see what happened. Each bodyguard has a specific ability that is only tethered to that bodyguard. The first bodyguard that you will be fighting, his ability is called Withered Blades. This is going to be an AoE that goes around the mob. Make sure that the tank and the melee move out of this every time it happens, because if they don't, they will take 600k damage and they will get a debuff that deals 50k damage per 1 second for 6 seconds. Repeat this process until the bodyguard is dead. Then find another fell enforcer and proceed to kill it. After killing it, you will meet the second bodyguard. The second bodyguard's special ability is a beam ability. This is only going to be targeted on one player. The player that it targets will take 190,000 damage and is given a debuff that reduces their damage by 5% for 5 seconds. This debuff is stackable. The final bodyguard that you'll be dealing with is going to do a frontal cone shockwave that if you get hit by it, it will deal 905,000 damage and you'll be stunned for 3 seconds. The shockwave itself has a 10-yard range in front of the bodyguard. Now moving on to the second boss. The first ability you want to look out for is Inferno Eruption. Inferno Eruption is going to deal 280,000 fire damage and knock the players up into the sky. The Infernal Eruption spots spawn wherever the players were standing. They will then also spawn fire on those locations, so make sure to avoid those locations as much as possible. If you do end up walking into them, they will deal 185,000 damage. As the boss fight goes on, the boss is going to spawn imps. You need to AoE these down, as the longer the boss fight goes on, in combination with the boss gaining a buff that increases all of the minions around her and her fire damage. This will mean that the imps are going to be extremely powerful. So the faster you can knock these down, the better. She's also going to do a raid-wide debuff that reduces maximum health by 5% and movement speed by 10%. This should be kicked at all costs. This boss mainly is a damage race. She's going to gain a uninterruptible buff that you cannot let stack anywhere above 4 to 5, or there's going to be too much damage and you will not be able to live. After killing the second boss, you now need to talk to an NPC around the boss area. She's going to give you a disguise where you can enter the party that is in the double doors behind where you killed the boss. Once inside, your job is going to be to talk and gain clues from the chatty rumour mongers. Each of these are going to give you a clue to what the spy looks like. There's 5 clues to find, and once you've found all the clues, you need to look around the party to find the noble man or woman that is a spy for the Burning Legion. Once you've found this out, the demon itself, or the Burning Legion spy, will turn form into a demon. You will need your tank to tank this, your DPS to kill it, and then you will need to loot a key that will unlock the final door to the final boss. Welcome to the last boss in Court of Stars Mythic. The main things that this is going to test is your positioning and your mobility. There's a lot of things you need to dodge in this boss fight. The first one being Piecing Gale. This deals 775k damage to any player in front or behind the boss or his images. After his Gale, he's going to cast an ability called Slicing Maelstrom. This is basically going to make a tornado that is going to fly around the room. Any player that does get hit by this tornado is going to cause group-wide damage. So try and avoid this, as it will make your healer's job easier. After he casts his Maelstrom, he's going to target a random player, and then he's going to dash over to them. The player should move away from where the boss is going to go. If the player does get hit, he will take 550k damage, and he will have a debuff applied to him that deals 231k for 2 seconds over 12 seconds. After the boss has dashed, he will summon an image of himself that will copy every ability that the boss does from there forward. So it's normally best to get your DPS to DPS this boss down as fast as possible, due to the fact the longer the boss goes on, the more images he'll have, and then the more things you'll have to avoid. That is going to wrap up the end of this Court of Stars Mythic guide for you guys. If this guide helped you out and you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on it. And I hope this guide was better than yesterday's one. I tried to put a bit more effort into the voice commentary, but I'm still getting used to doing these kind of videos. So I would love to hear some feedback in the comment section down below. And if you do think this guide would help someone and you would like to share this on Facebook and Twitter, it would help out the channel a lot and it'd be much appreciated from me. If you would like to see the Archway guide, check the description or check on the end cards in just a moment. And I hope you guys enjoyed once again. If you are new to the channel and you would like not to miss the next Legion video, we're going to be doing a Mythic Plus talk about video tomorrow, so that's going to be really interesting. So make sure to be subscribed if you want to see that, or any other Legion content that isn't just going to be PvP or PvE, sorry, that is also going to be PvP orientated as well, coming in this week as well. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video. Farewell. If you guys missed the Archway guide that I did yesterday, then make sure to hit the right link. If you'd like to see my top 5 world quests in Legion so far, then make sure to hit the left link, and I'll see you in the next video.